Hey YouTube, what goes on? Welcome to Disavowed Action Figures live at 7:05. Here we are. It's freaking mid-November. I'm sitting around. I know I have a box to open up from a friend of the channel, OK Figures. So I'm super pumped about that tonight. So thank you to OK Figures for sending me a package here, which I received last week. However, I was holding off till this week to crack it open. But as I sat here thinking about a theme for the show this week, I thought to myself, you know what? It is mid-November. It is freaking cold outside. There's freaking snow being called for in the weather. And I thought to myself, you know what? I will be doing my end of the year best action figure of the year videos soon enough. It's hard to believe, but we are only maybe 5-6 weeks away from when I will start putting together my scripting and taking over, looking at some notes and basically looking at the top 10 action figures of 2021. And I never did a mid-year video as I planned to, like a lot of people did. So I thought, you know what a better time to take some time to talk with the live 7:05 streaming crew and just get an idea of what we think are some of the best action figure lines of the year. Now, I know somebody in the comments or possibly live here tonight might say to me, you did not include Ghostbusters. You did not include every single NECA line. You did not include every single McFarlane Toys line. I couldn't. Too many pictures to include on a thumbnail, people. I am cards on the table, a huge Hasbro collector. That is the majority of my collection. I definitely want to make sure I got the McFarlane Toys and NECA logos up there because I do dip a toe somewhat over there. And obviously with Mattel, I did include WWE on that list. However, there are just many lines here we can put in here. And I couldn't get them on the card. So we will talk about them here. If you're catching this on the playback, please feel free to leave a comment and also let me know what I should be considering. But we're looking more in a line of the year as opposed to necessarily figure of the year, which obviously is going to have a lot to do with what you are collecting personally, which I will get in cards at the table, talk about that throughout the video. If you've been here before, you know what I look at. But before we get to talking about all of tonight's action figure lines of the year, as well as some figures of the year, let's take a moment and say hello to everybody who's here in the chat so far tonight. Four Feathers in the house. How you doing, sir? Nice to see you tonight. Alyssa, what is going on? Figure of the year talk. Let's do it. Lacerda Photo, how you doing, man? What's going on, sir? R. David Hill says, hey, party peoples, what's going on, man? How are you? Thanks for being here. KJ Smith in the house. How you doing, KJ? What's up, sir? OK Figures says, hey, still working, but I'm listening. Thank you, buddy. And again, please give OK Figures a big follow over on Instagram, as he did send us something here to the channel, which we're opening up this week, and we are very, very appreciative for. Hambone, what's going on? Says Gunslinger Spawn coming out the gate. That's why I made sure to include that McFarlane Toys logo, man. He's did a lot this year. I was going to put DC Multiverse in there, but Spawn's been huge. We have all sorts of lines coming out from Toddy Mac. So again, I at least wanted to get him on the card. Four Feather says, that sounds like a good video to do, man. Thanks, buddy. Looking forward to talking about it here. Midwest Toy Box in the house. How you doing, Midwest Toy Box? What's going on, man? Lacerda says, Mezco Vapor is on my list. So basically, when I look at my top figures of the year, I collect next to no Mezcos. I don't collect any hot toys. I'm basically trying to keep my top figures of the year and top lines of the year to be more or less figures you can buy at a big box location. At least companies, lines, and figures you could pick up at either a big box or even a specialty like a GameStop. I don't really extend that to Mezcos, although feel free, everybody, like Lacerda did, to throw out some Mezco figures of the year that you'll be enjoying. I will not be including Mezcos in my future action figure of the year videos in December and January, because honestly, I don't collect them. I stay at the price point I'm comfortable with. I'd rather most of the time buy 4 of a Hasbro or a Mattel or a McFarlane figure than get one. Now, I know the quality is much better and everything else, but you know, you got to stay in your lane. So I stay in my lane, essentially. Helps control the pricing on my end a little bit. But yeah, Lacerda, heard that Vapor is amazing. Hambone says, I'm a new subscriber. I've gone down the rabbit hole on your videos. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the crew. Thanks for being here, man. Definitely appreciate it. R. David Hill's also first time being here. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Everybody, please give Hambone and R. David Hill a big welcome here to the crew that we have here on Live at 705. Again, really appreciate new subscribers and new followers. And again, new people here on the live stream. Speaking of long-time subscribers and followers, Andre in the house. I mean, if I could find the freaking figures, I would collect everything. But since I can't, I pretty much stick to Marvel Legends. Dude, totally feel you, man. Totally feel you. Again, I can't sympathize as much. I can't empathize as much as sympathize because, again, I'm in a, as we always talked about before, I'm in a much more low population area, so I tend to find what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking here. That's kind of odd, isn't it? He's kind of staring down Hikaru Rashida there. But yeah, man, Andre, again, please feel free to put out your input, man. Even though, Andre, if you know there's a figure you haven't found yet, you're very high on, please let us know. We'd appreciate that. You are very welcome. You're very welcome, sir. McFarlane Toys Spawn line. Again, that's where I'm going to get beat up in the comments. I made sure, as I said, get it on the main card. Thing is, I collect very little to none of the McFarlane Toys. It's not that I don't like them. I like Toddy Mac. I love his figures in scale thing that, they do over there at Jay Hernandez's page. I put Gorilla Grodd in here because, honestly, I think he's the only multiverse I bought this year. I did buy the Violator, Devastator Batman. Was that this year or was that last year? I honestly cannot remember. I think it was last year because I think I considered it my top 10 overall figures for last year, but I never did that video. This is only going to be the third winter I've had a channel. So I started off very basic with my top 10 videos this year, hoping to get a little bit more in depth covering the things I like to collect. Four Feather says, I understand that and respect it, even though I do like those lines as well. Yeah, man. Again, nothing against them whatsoever. R. David Hill says, I love the higher end lines, but I'm definitely a low budget collector. Yeah, and you got to collect what you like. I'd rather have a ton of stuff laying around. And again, I totally appreciate, I listen to Prime to the Firsts and Nasty Nate's podcast on a pretty much weekly basis over there on their podcast at the Figure Booth. And those guys are huge Mezco people. They might have become the foremost Mezco collectors in the community while making also very awesome custom cabinets, by the way. But with that said, it's cool to appreciate from afar, I feel like. Doc Joka Zin is in the house. Infinity Equation podcast. Give them a follow. Give them a sub. Listen to their stuff, too. I just mentioned Prime. Prime's been over on the Infinity Equation podcast before. Check them out. Forfeiters has gone down the Mezco rabbit hole. Yeah, dude, totally understand it. It's amazing what they do with those figures. One thing that also kills me is the patience involved. I just want the patience to wait. I did order the John Constantine Hellblazer figure, sorry, when that was first solicited for myself and a buddy of mine that wanted to get in on it. And here we are. It was supposed to ship, I think, by August and hasn't come in yet. So again, what are you going to do? Again, different strokes, different folks, but I totally get it. Look at my figure. What's going on? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you being here. That is awesome to be here. Greg Miller in the house. Greg, I know you got some opinions on what you like with your toys, man, and your action figures. So looking forward, Greg, to you sharing some of your insight as well as we talk about figure line of the year. Let's see. Four Feather says that is a good motto to go by. Collect what you like. Yeah, man. Obviously, I hadn't come up with that. But yeah, I think that you have to collect what you like. It's very easy nowadays to be forced by peer pressure because of Instagram and YouTubers to buy things. Again, fear of missing out. People get worried about, making an investment into their collection. They're scared to not get something. If you don't like something, don't buy it. If I say anything, in these videos moving forward, if you see something you like that you didn't pick up this year, you want to check it out. But again, don't be peer pressured to spending money on things because of fear of missing out or YouTube or Instagrammers, because, most of us buy what we like as well. So again, maybe you like it, maybe you won't. Let's see what we got going on. Mythic Legions. Oh, I bought one. I don't even have it on the screen. I'm not including that in my top 10. This is actually, I bought two. I didn't unbox the other one. I bought this guy here when I was at, would have been not RetroCon, ZoloCon 2021 down there in Warminster, PA. You can check out my YouTube hunt video from that if you'd like to go back to, I believe it was February. There's another one coming up soon this summer. But Mythic Legions are freaking amazing. I do have a few, but the thing is, again, higher price point, hard to come by. I'm staying in my lane. Here and there, I'll cherry pick, get some stuff, but overall, I really try to stick with, that more $20, $25 area, other than like, your deluxes. Our David Hill says main reason for low budget collecting is finances, but also I do customs and it's cheaper. Yeah, exactly. And if you're doing a custom on a McFarlane or a Hasbro or a Mattel, and something breaks, you're out $25. You break something on a Mezco and that thing can't be fixed, you're out $80, if not more. Greg Miller says Batman 89. Gotta love Batman 89. McFarlane Toys, I'm guessing, still hasn't shipped that. Hambone says, I love the new Spawn line and the new Mo2 Masterverse. We got so much Mo2 this year. So much freaking Mo2 in the collection this year. It's hard to believe. Again, I couldn't go through and list all the separate lines. Obviously, I've been more in on Origins than anything. I haven't collected much from Revelations. We're getting the little guys now. I did pick some of those up over the calendar year. But yeah, just so much stuff out there. Forfeither says, I like a few of their figures, not saying I'm going to get into the whole line. Yeah, you pick and you choose what you like to do, right? Now, just looking forward to my top 10 figures. My goals this year, and I'm not going to talk me all night. I want to talk with you guys about what you like. Pick your brains. As far as my end of the year, I'm looking at doing a top 10 G.I. Joe of the year. Pretty sure there was 10 that came out this year. I did it last year when there were maybe like 13 that came out, but I'm pretty sure we had at least 10 this year. I got to double check. If not, I'll probably just do a retrospective of G.I. Joe Classified for the year. Big G.I. Joe Classified guy over here. So you'll definitely get an end of the year video on them. Obviously, Marvel Legends, kind of still my bread and butter. Classifieds, obviously, don't put out as many. But again, both Hasbro companies, I get that. So I'm very Hasbro-centric in my collecting. So you'll definitely get a top 10 Marvel Legends of the year at the end of the year, which, by the way, we will not include the Sentinel and his knees. We will not include the Sentinel in the top 10. Maybe he'll get a honorable mention shout out. Let me know in the comments, guys. Should I include Build-A-Figures in my top 10? I think that last year I considered doing a top 10 deluxe and above Marvel Legends video. So essentially, again, the Sentinel I probably leave out because it's a HasLab. But anything that's a deluxe and or a Build-A-Figure in my collection, I might do a top 10 just on those, and then just your basic Marvel Legends singles that aren't considered deluxe figures that came out. WWE Elite, represented by Mattel over here. AEW, Jazz Wares. I was huge on AEW this year. Not quite to the extent of my good friend Six Packs and Knickknacks. I was not a completionist, but I did buy a lot of AEW. Shout out to, because I know he's watching, Adam Hangman Page, new champion. Spoiler alert from last Sunday. Freaking incredible pay-per-view, by the way. If you're new to the channel, I'm a big AEW fan. Not so much WWE, but I have picked up some WWE Elites this year as well for the classic wrestlers that I do like. And again, some Diamond Select toys. We have the Crow here. I bought a lot of Crow this year. Neca, I bought a decent amount of Neca this year, but honestly, didn't open a lot of it. I did buy Frankenstein, but he's literally at the back of my horror display right now. Not pulling him out. It's going to be domino effect everywhere. I did pick up the Beetlejuice Toonie Terror. Star Wars Black Series. I got a lot of Bad Batch this year. I'm pretty much caught up on them. So I have a lot of them going on. I think that Ghostbusters right here, Plasma Series, was this year. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I did pick up all of those with the help of Art G, good friend of the channel, and also built the Hellhound. So I have him here represented as well. But again, so many lines. I don't collect everything. So again, if I don't mention your favorite line or your favorite action figure, let me know about it. Maybe I'll check it out. But I can only put in my lists what it is I actually collect. So obviously, I try to... I can't speak on things that I don't own, that I don't get my hands on, right? Or that I haven't opened at least. So that's what I try to avoid here. Greg says, I think it is not sent yet, I believe is what he said. Forfeither says, first design April O'Neil is what comes to my knees. I can't get that out of my head. I listen to Toy Anxiety, great podcast. Greg, I can't think of his last name. Not Greg Miller, but the guy on the podcast from down in Georgia with some Canadian friends of his. Really great podcast, Toy Anxiety. Big Ghostbusters fans. But they said April's knees all the time, and that's why I applied that to the Sentinel. So that's from their stuff. Our David Hill says BAF, in my opinion, should be separate because the companies put a lot more into them. I agree. And again, honestly, just kind of narrowing the list, it'd be very, very difficult to put in to mix in the BAFs, because you're gonna have mostly BAFs and deluxe figures. So I think I bought enough BAFs. I built enough BAFs. And I think that I bought enough deluxe figures this year to do a top 10 just of those. Again, figures like Surtur back there, he's not going to be in a regular top 10 release. And the back here, I can kind of shift the camera a little bit. Mr. Hyde's hanging back there. I didn't buy a lot of the Shang-Chi wave. I mostly just built him and sent those figures off. So She-Hulk, kind of a deluxe figure. I mean, more close to a single release. And yes, I know he's not this year, but I love having him on camera. So that's why he's back there. Pretty much everything else here, I believe, is a 2020 release. So anyways, guys, that's what we're up to. Before we get into kind of looking more at these lines, think about guys, I should say guys, there's girls here too, women. Think about, ladies and gentlemen, what your favorite line of the year is, specifically what's sitting in front of me here. Like Diamond Select, as I said, I didn't buy a lot of those, but I do have a lot. I do have a few I like. So while we're getting ready to that, OK Figures, shout out to you again, sir, sent us a box last week that he contacted me about. It's too big to put on camera, but I wanted to crack that open and give him a shout out. Please give him a follow here on Instagram. He has been following since the beginning here on the channel. I believe he and I both started our Instagrams around the same time. Great dude. So give him a follow. He's here every week. And as I always say, give everybody a follow here, everyone. You know, we support each other. We're a community here. So give him a follow. Great dude. Sent me this. Let's check it out and see what's going on inside. I pretty much know what it is, but I didn't talk much about it on here last week. So I wanted to be a surprise for everybody to see what he found and hook me up with. So I believe what he had said, he had ordered a couple extra of a figure, and he knew I was into this certain line, and he decided to hook me up. And you can kind of see it poking through. I don't want to knock all these figures over in the back because we'll have a real mess on our hands, but I see a little bit of orange poking through here in this box. So I think maybe you can figure out what it is that he sent us. So let's pull this off of the table and take a look. And there it is. Freaking amazing. Very cool. Thank you so much, OK Figures. Boom. He hooked me up with the thing. Very awesome. He actually mentioned he's working on some third-party cigars to actually go in the thing's mouth. So that's a very cool idea as well. I have no artistic ability when it comes to customs. I can barely do a head swap without knocking figures over. I'm shocked this isn't knocking figures over right now, but this thing is amazing. I was really on the fence whether I wanted to pick up this thing or not, because I do have the Walgreens exclusive and the Super Skrull. But you know what? I probably would have bent the knee eventually and caved and bought, because I wanted to have all of the things at this point. I did buy Psycho Man last week. He did not open him yet. Found him in the store. I did not see the thing in the store yet. So thank you again, OK Figures. Very awesome. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to crack this guy open next Wednesday and do a comparison with the Walgreens thing and also the thing from the Super Skrull wave. I don't intend to build the entire Fantastic Four from this line. I have the Doctor Doom that came out last year on card on my wall, because I already have the God Doom and the other Doom, the more traditional Doom, all out of the box, out of the packaging. Don't need that Sue Storm. Yuck. Psycho Man looks amazing. I will crack him open maybe next week when I open up the thing. Johnny Storm, haven't seen him in stores yet. I know he can be fudged into any of the lines. I might consider if I see him. High Evolutionary I had in my hand. I put it back. And Reed Richards, hard pass. It looks incredible. I really like what they do with the lab coats. I put the Moira McTaggart. But I'm not going to do it. Love how, and everybody's pointed this out, this isn't me noticing this, how in order to fit this in a regular card, they had to push the feet down into the bubbles here and bend the legs. I wonder if over time this will cause any problems for the stability of the figure. This other head sculpt is freaking cool. So that is incredible. Thank you so much again, OK Figures, for the hookup on this. Very much appreciated. I would never ask anybody to send me anything, but he reached out. So thank you so much, sir. Much, much, much appreciated for you hooking me up with that particular figure. So can't wait next week to crack that open and do some pretty freaking cool comparisons over on Instagram and here on the channel. So let's see what we got going on here in the chat. Again, I try to get everybody up here I can. R. David Hill, thank you. I appreciate you. Looking forward to checking out those top 10 videos. I will do my best. I tried to actually script everything the first year I did it, and it came across very robotic. I don't really script anything anymore. I just kind of go off the cuff. I think about my ideas ahead of time. Some people had asked recently on a YouTube video if I do my voiceover after the fact. I don't. I do it live in the moment, which can be hard. It's a lot of verbal acrobatics when you got little kids around you and moms and dads and other collectors. But I do my best. So I do everything in the moment anymore. So I might do a little bit of planning for those videos, but it's going to be much more organic, I think, this year. And honestly, I've grown some better confidence doing this. So I think that's a better way to go. Andre says, even if you don't own it, you totally have the right to talk about something you don't own. And you would still appreciate putting your input on things you don't own nor want. Thanks, man. And again, I will try. I don't want to say anything incorrect. An opinion is an opinion. It's not right or wrong, but I also don't want to be ill-informed of a topic and try to talk about it. So, if something looks cool or I'm not interested in something, I'll share that opinion. But as far as the quality of the figure, articulation, whatever you might say, I wouldn't want to judge something unless I had my hands on it. And again, I'm not really a reviewer. I show things on here as I open them. I kind of give you a basic idea. But again, there's so many awesome reviewers out there that's just strictly their thing. I like to give you kind of a quick look. I'm a Transformers collector along with 6-inch figures for Marvel. Yeah, so that's awesome, dude. So that's one thing I don't dabble in. If you've watched my other hunt videos, which you mentioned earlier, I always try to say I'm not a Transformer guy. I watched it as a kid. I just didn't get into the figures. Honestly, I would break too many things trying to transform them. I considered the Reds line, but I didn't like that they're all smaller scale. But yeah, there's going to be tons of Transformers that should be in the top 10. And again, I stay in my lane. I don't know much about it. But yeah, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, that's kind of, the main thing here. Even as far as Star Wars, I bought the Bad Batch this year. I bought some of the Mandalorian figures this year. I'm actually not quite sure what came out this year and last year. I got to double check. But not a lot of Star Wars on my end either. Plus, they're freaking incredibly hard to find. Greg Miller says, that's awesome. Greg Miller? Ben Grimm. Hambone says, I really suggest you pick up a Gunslinger Spawn. You know what? I've seen them, and I'm trying to think here. I think really I have 2 McFarlane DC multiverses. That's it. I wanted to get a Spawn. I haven't seen Gunslinger in a while. If I come across him again, I was kind of hoping to get him on clearance. I know it sounds goofy, but a lot of people were finding random ones on clearance. So I was trying to hold out. I have the Skrull Bath thing. It's a very chunky monkey and worth the price. Yeah, man. It's a great one. I really like the Walgreens one the most because of the wash. We'll look at that next week together. Greg Miller says the Super Skrull thing is weak at this point. I think I'm going to sell that wave off. I've been on the fence. I like it because it's the current rendition from the comics, which I'm reading. They also had a great crossover earlier in the year by Jonathan Hickman in the comics for Fantastic Four versus X-Men, and that's how they were depicted. Plus, I don't want to get rid of the thing. So I don't know. I have all 4 from Walgreens, all 4 from that wave. That's why I'm good on the retros, I think. Greg, I think you have the Mezco pre-ordered too, right? So again, Greg, if I were you and I ordered that Mezco, again, I'm not saying what you should do. I'm just saying what I would do. I would probably, get rid of all those legends and just hang on to those Mezcos because those are going to be freaking sweet. Forfeather says, R. David Hill, me too as well. What we got going on? Okay, Figure says, my favorite version of Ben can't beat the wash on Walgreens version, but this new head sculpts are one. Yeah, dude, they look great. And I know you said about putting a cigar in the mouth. Very cool. RL, what's going on, man? How you doing, sir? Again, everybody, thank you cards did go out earlier this week. There'll be a second wave of them going out. I had some people I touched base with a little bit later on after that week. Again, if you do receive your thank you card with your Marvel Legends trading card inside, give me a shout out just so I know it reached you. I put everything out in the mail this week, so they should be coming hopefully to your addresses sometime soon. Forfeither says, love the Transformers G1 line of figs. Yes, I heard they're fantastic. James, aka Wrathbase 44 is in the house. What's going on, James? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by live at 705. RL says he ordered his Nova figure today. Very freaking epic. I passed. I heard it was on Walgreens. It looks cool. But again, you collect what's in your collection. Obviously, I did order Galactus. I shouldn't say obviously, but I did order a Galactus. I do have Silver Surfer and some other of the figures from space. But I was just like, I think I'm okay. I'm not going to dabble too far into that. Again, looks freaking very cool, though. Nova looks incredible. Four Feathers says, Disavowed playing the long game on Gunslinger Spawn. You know me, man. I try to be... I try to be thrifty and get things on the cheap when I can. I attempt to. Greg says he did pre-order the Fantastic Four Mezcos. So that's going to be, incredible. That pack just looks freaking incredible. Now, the Doctor Doom, when they come out with that, I could dip a toe in Mezco for that Doctor Doom because of the soft goods. So I can actually sit him on a damn throne where he belongs. R. David Hill says Transformers is a deep robot hole to go into, honestly. There are main line Hasbro releases and then higher priced Masterpiece figures on top of that. I've seen the Masterpieces in Target. They are pricey. Forther says RL, really, I've been looking everywhere for that figure. You were able to get one on the site. Steel box set ordered. That's awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about these figures here. We're already about 25 minutes in, and if you're new, I tend to try to go about 45 minutes because honestly, I do watch AEW every week, so I usually want to give myself about 5 minutes to get some cleanup done. So starting off with Jazzwares, I did pick up a couple Fortnite figures this year, not many. In fact, I don't think I opened them. I did buy the Jazzwares Agent Peely. I was so pumped to find it, and I never freaking opened it. Cheers, by the way, everybody. Happy November. Hope your Thanksgiving gets here quick, right? I never opened Agent Peely. I might for the end of the year video retrospective. I've basically been close to all in on AEW Unrivaled and Unmatched. I have two my favorite Unrivaleds of the year: the new Hangman Page, the new champion of AEW. I'm very excited to have him in the collection. I had the original from Series 1. The feet were like Frankenstein feet. Was not a good figure. This one's much, much better and superior. Hikaru Shida, loved this figure. It peg warmed a little bit, which surprised me. But great articulation. Great head sculpt, I believe. You had the hair looking purple at the end. This was her new iteration of her actual ring attire that she eventually wore when she became AEW Women's Champion. So really enjoyed AEW Jazzwares Unmatched and Unrivaled, Unmatched being the new wave, the new line, I should say. Also, recently, Series 7 is hit. I did pick up the Lance Archer in my hunt video this past weekend. Got that Britt Baker from Unmatched finally. So again, great line with the AEW stuff. So I definitely wanted to give them a plug as we were going through here. Because again, I am a wrestling fan, not so much WWE. But I have picked some up over the year as well. Let's see what we got going on here. James says, still waiting on barbecue in Canada. Yeah, you were saying last week, man. It's so weird, dude, because sometimes, what is it up there? What's the GameStop's equivalent? I always forget what it's called up there. Is it EB Games or something like that? Maybe that's probably not it. That's probably what it used to be here in the States, Electronics Boutique. But I do feel like sometimes Canada gets stuff first, and then sometimes they don't. Sixpack says, heard the shark is in the house. What goes on, everyone? Happy 705 all. Sixpack Nicknacks, huge Simpsons craft beer and AEW fan as well. R. David Hill says, I'm thrifty too. If it's on sale or 50% off or more, I'll buy it. Yeah, man, if you get a good deal, you got to get a good deal. RL says, I've only got 3 AEW, Max, Scorpio, Sky, and Kaz. I actually, you know what? Those are great figures. Max is incredible. Scorpio, Sky, and Kaz, I had and I returned. I got them because of the championship belts, mostly. But I didn't want to buy a Daniels to finish SCU. Plus, they're not really a thing anymore. And on top of that, FTR is coming with the new belts. I saw them this week. The GF picked them up for me for Christmas. I'll be getting those in December from her. So I'll hold off on buying them myself. But they come with the belts as well. So if I have tag belts, I'm happy. But yeah, AEW, great figures. Robert Hunt, how you doing? What's going on? Greg says, how about the top 10 list? Just pick every McFarlane repainted figure. I'm guessing you're saying, Greg. Yeah, we were laughing earlier today. We were talking about how Greg and I both had seen the new Batman and Superman McFarlanes. And again, they repaint the hell out of that like robot suit looking thing, whatever the heck it's actually called. And why won't he stand now? There we go. And we were both kind of laughing about the repaints that they do there. So yeah, I will not be doing that. Lacerda, what's going on? Says, who's picking up Super 7 Turtles Party Wagon? Haven't seen much about it. I got halfway through Toy News International's video today, and I stopped because I got a phone call, and then I came back for 705. So Lacerda, I'm sure it's amazing. Let's know in the chat what you guys think. James says they changed the name to GameStop in Canada. Well, there you go. So it's GameStop in both countries, even easier now. It used to be called EB Games. Okay, so I wasn't making that up. I could not remember for sure. Greg says McFarlane repaint a Batman and Superman and call it a day for the top 10 list. It's $500. Wow. Okay. Outside my price range. I'll tell you right away that that's outside my range. All right, guys. So my next current favorite line, again, I'm not going to say who I think was the best of the year in my estimation. I'm just kind of, talking it through with you guys, was G.I. Joe Classified. I think one of the best things about G.I. Joe Classified this year is they fixed the friggin' issue with distribution for the most part. I know that Canada, as Ratface said, is still waiting on barbecue. However, they did it right when they brought back all those Target exclusives. Baroness dropped from like $200+ on eBay down to like 50 to 70 or something, which is basically retail plus shipping. Barbecue, you could pre-order this son of a gun for what seemed like half a year. This thing was up forever to get barbecue. The Vipers they put back up. In the back here, they put back up the oh geez, I'm blanking on names here. They put the Viper back up. They put the Cobra Trooper back up. They obviously put all those exclusives back up. Baroness, Roadblock was back up there again. So literally everybody was up there that you could get. So if you didn't try to pre-order them and you missed out, you could have had them. You know, you could have had them for sure. So very excited about that. So G.I. Joe really killed it this year. So many figures, announcing so many more coming up. I think a lot of our money in our wallets was given to pre-ordering G.I. Joes over the last few weeks as well. Very excited for that, obviously, white Storm Shadow suit to come out. That's not that weird egg-colored shape from the Snake Eyes wave. So very pumped, very excited with where G.I. Joe Classified's going, what they accomplished this year. As I said, I'm fairly sure I bought at least 10 this year of separate figures. I have some that are still coming in sometime soon. I'm really hoping that by next week, I have some new Joes to review, not review, but open and look at with you. That is at least my game plan. So I'm hoping that those come in. I had a contact today that it said they should be here for next week. So I'll kind of dangle that one out there. Mattel, WWE Elites. I didn't want to dig too many out. Big Van Vader, which was an ultimate, was freaking incredible this year. 6-packs of knickknacks. I know you're in the chat. You'd be a big WWE fan as well. The Hulk Hogan NWO. I don't know if that was this year or not. I see him back there on my shelf for Mattel. But Vader was definitely one of my favorite figures that I enjoyed. The Ric Flair, was incredible. He's out in my living room, actually, on my TV stand. So this figure right here, even. I mean, this is the cool thing with these guys. The freaking tattoos are amazing on Aleister Black, House of Black, Malachi Black, You're now in AEW. So again, very cool. I'm not that deep on WWE Elites and Mattels, but I do order them from time to time. I have a Hogan on pre-order right now as well. That is out there. Our David Hill says, sadly, he's got to go. See you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Looking forward to interacting more with you in the future on the channel. Very much appreciate it that you stopped by. So hit me up on Instagram as well to make sure I'm following you over there, because, again, names can be different. RL says, does anyone think that there will be a living Tribunal Marvel Legend? I would never rule out anything when it comes to Marvel Legends at this point in time. Hambone says, I'm sick of exclusives. I am too, but if they make them more acquirable, I don't hate them as much. It was ridiculous what we had to go through to find all of these WWB, all of these G.I. Joe Classifieds originally last year or 2 years ago at this point now. So just insane. So let me know, everybody, was this a figure from 2021? It's all running together in my head. If it was 2021, I know it was very early 2021. Trans Aaron, another friend of the channel, I know is big Ghostbusters fan. If he were here, I know he'd know for sure to give us a shout. Okay, Figure says, G.I. Joe is on the right track moving forward. Yeah, oh my God, Crocmaster. All the insane stuff they got coming in the pike is amazing. I'm thinking Ursa got to make the top 10. Yeah, I have 2 of these. I built 2 of these. I love them so much. I have one here in one of my living room. Again, he'll be in my deluxe list, Greg. Because again, I think, as some people have said, to include him and other Build-A-Figures with other regular legends, the whole list would essentially be, big boys like Ironmonger. I have off camera over here, Hyde in the back, in the corner back there, Colossus on camera, Sir. I mean, right here, there's probably 5 that I would consider top 10 ahead of everybody you see in front of you. That's a basic figure. William says, Classified is so great. I agree. They're killing it right now. Forfeather says, yes, agreed. J. Joe line is awesome aside from availability. Forfeather says, agreed on the exclusives. RL says, I can't wait for Jazzwares to make Malachi Black, CM Punk. Oh, man, and Bryan Danielson. I'm waiting on that Sting. When I get Sting, I'm going to lose my mind because I'm just going to yell, it's Sting, like Tony Schiavone all the time. It's going to be freaking awesome. My neighbors will eventually probably call the police on me. So in addition to our Jazzwares AEW, our Marvel, I should say our Hasbro Ghostbusters, our Mattel WWE. Obviously, we also talked about Hasbro Black Series. Again, I don't have all my acquisitions obviously out here for the year. I'm not Toy Galaxy, guys. I can't get all those figures to stand and not fall over. Dan Larson's the king of that stuff. But here on my channel, we have a few out here. I fell down the Bad Batch rabbit hole. It pulled me a little bit more in the Black Series than I had been. I was only collecting Mandalorian up to that point. However, I really enjoyed the Bad Batch, so I did start to acquire those. I have Tech down here. I didn't even open him yet. I bought him about a month ago. But I do have the majority of the team at this point, as well as some additional Mandalorian figures from this year. Bo-Katan, another one sitting back here. I'll grab her real quick because she's right behind me. Really enjoy the Bo-Katan figure. Was excited to find that. I believe that was also 2021. Again, correct me in the comments if I am wrong. But again, I'm selective with the Black Series. But again, I tend to lean toward Hasbro figures. It's just what it is. They own the licenses to the majority of what I collect. So obviously, we will have some possible Black Series in the top 10 overall list. However, I do not have enough Black Series to do a top 10 of the year list. I think I've found 10 Black Series this year, to be honest, in a store. He was a pre-order, although I did see him everywhere eventually, and I found her at Target on an early Saturday morning toy hunt. So check that out. Greg Miller says, I haven't built Colossus yet. I'm trying to do it on the cheap, even though I could have done it a few times already at retail. Yeah, Greg, I totally get that, especially considering Age of Apocalypse, the original line, clearance freaking hard eventually. Now, I don't know if we're going to have enough figures out there on the pegs. The clearance is hard. I don't know if maybe the current shipping issues going on in the States will have something to do with that, and we'll get flooded with them out of nowhere. That's also a potential possibility. But I do know, Greg, that Art G had sent us that link to Dorkside. They do have all of them up at $17.99 a piece right now. So you are saving, what, $4 or so per figure. Plus the shipping is free if you get the whole wave. I think it's over $39 free shipping. So again, I totally understand playing a long game there. I just love AOA. I mean, it's very, very polarizing topic. I know Dante on an Affinity Equation has talked on their show that he's not a huge fan of AOA. You know, I was all in. He actually enabled me to get Legion. So he does have some of the figures as well. But I actually ended up moving my House of X, Powers of X figures to a separate shelf and building an entire AOA shelf because literally I'm looking over there. Greg, I think you actually hooked me up with that Apocalypse originally, that deluxe. So thank you from last year. Sugarman build a figure. Cyclops hate that figure, but he's still a representation of the character. Magneto looks great. Rogue looks great. More from the first wave. Kitty Pryde, Legion, Weapon X, Jean Grey, Iceman, Colossus in the back. So again, Marvel Legends killing it for sure. Again, I don't have a lot of representation of DC Multiverse or McFarlane in my collection, but I at least wanted to put some out here on display as we are going through. Okay Figure says, let's talk about that Dorkside sale today. They jacked shipping up to $10 unless you spend $39. Definitely trying to encourage you to buy a lot more. Greg agreed. Face sculpt is awesome. Head sculpt is awesome. Greg, I know that the actress actually gave you a shout on Instagram, I believe, back when that first came out. So that was very cool to see our girl Katie Sackhoff give you a shout. Grabbed Casca yesterday. Very cool. Okay Figures. Still haven't seen her on the pegs anywhere. Casca Reeves, another Four Feathers, says he needs it as well. So very cool. Greg says, I just saw Bo-Katan, Aura Singh, and surprisingly Tech tonight at Walmart. So maybe they're restocking. I didn't even check tonight. I should have. I saw Aura Singh once and I left her because I'm just not that deep of Black Series collector. And Tech I saw again a couple times. Still have not seen, as I said, that as I'd say, Sasha Banks figure anywhere yet. So let's get him back here. I love this figure. Now, I don't know if anybody here collects Diamond Select figures. The thing with them is very limited articulation. You're not talking about like an original McFarlane that doesn't do anything. However, I'm always very careful when moving these around. I'd say these are definitely more limited than the NECA, but it's a great representation every time they make a figure. I have a lot of Diamond Select. I obviously have some Marvel Select figures in my collection. Not many, but some. Looking over the shelf here, I have almost all the Castlevania that they did for the cartoon on Netflix. So again, I do have a handful of these, but you just got to be careful what you do with them. Love the Crow. So many great Diamond Select figures of the Crow. I thought about ordering the Mezco, and I'm not going to do it. It's a rabbit hole, as we talked about. This looks great on my shelf. I love this, that it comes with the guitar. It comes with the additional crow, which I can use in pictures. Obviously, getting a tombstone helps with almost any kind of figure photography. Back behind me, I do have the 1 in 5,000, I think it was, SDCC exclusive still in packaging, where he has the bullet hole in his hand, and he's sitting behind, or sitting in the kind of nice chair. I almost got it just for the chair, but it looks so nice in packaging, I didn't open it. It looks a little too big to get on camera, or else I'd show you. So I'm not going to try to put that out here, but you probably know what I'm talking about. It's been out there for people to get. But again, Diamond Select Toys, the next long on it, I know. But again, it looks great if you pose the head just right. So again, shout out again, Diamond Select Toys. A lot of awesome stuff this year as well. They don't get as much love anymore, I don't think, as they used to. Although that Marvel Select Apocalypse that they've shown looks freaking incredible. They showed the mock-ups for it. I will probably be buying that. I don't know when it comes out. NECA love. Again, I bought much less NECA than I thought I did this year. I could not recall if the TMNT Turtle movie 2-packs were this year or not. If they were, I did pick up one of those. And I know this is from 2 years ago, but I do have the Raphael in the trench coat in disguise. So he is hanging up here on my shelf. I kept him because that was my favorite look from the Turtle movie. And I picked up the other 2-pack because I figured I wanted the whole team. So eventually I'll have to pick up Mikey. NECA, as far as Toonie Terrors, I probably bought more of these than anything. Got that Elvira. Didn't open it yet. Probably going to keep it on card, to be honest. Love the couch in the back. Beetlejuice, not going to do it again from Toonie Terrors. Need a 7-inch Toonie Terror. I pre-ordered the 8-inch Elvira NECA cloth figure as well. I think a big bad. So I'll be getting that hopefully for next year. But again, NECA, always enjoy NECA. I have Frankenstein from the horror. Other than that, this year, not a ton of NECA that I purchased. I've really been trying to work hard. He even looks cool with the tombstone right there. I've really been trying hard to limit my collecting due to space and just due to money. I mean, again, you only have so much to spend, to buy other stuff. So, but yeah, definitely digging those as well. I'm trying not to ignore comments, guys. I apologize. I'm just trying to get a little bit of everything here on camera before we have to call it quit for the night. Obviously, Greg had mentioned the Colossus Build-A-Figure. Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures this year, incredible. Incredible. I might even grab Mr. Hyde out of the back here. I don't even know if these will both fit on here. Let's see what we can do. Again, when Iron Man Wave went on clearance here, I did go and pick up another one. So I have 2 of the Ursa Majors because it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And again, I know I'm a Marvel Legends mark. So for those of you that hate Marvel Legends, I'm sorry. But I'm Legends is my bread and butter. So again, Mr. Hyde, loved him, even though it was kind of weird to put him in the Shang-Chi wave. Freaking Colossus is amazing. I know I'm kind of cutting their heads off, but I don't want to move the camera around too much. Hang on, slide that back a little bit. There we go. Still not great. I don't want to bump anything over. Although it's not a Disavowed live stream, unless we knock a bunch of figures over. That's better. But yeah, Build-A-Figures, Marvel Legends killing it. They'll probably be their own top 10 list, as we talked about, for the reasons we already spoke with everybody about. So freaking loving it. Greg Miller says, I love Katie Sackhoff. She's my ex-wife. If Alyssa's still in the chat, she might have something to say about that as well, because I've made similar comments in the past. Greg, I don't know you that well, but somehow I'm fully aware that you have Katie Sackhoff. That's hilarious. RL says, I can't bring myself to open my Marvel Selects. They do look great on card. Greg says it goes back to Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, man. She was amazing on that show. I binged most of that in the early days of the pandemic when the world was shut down in March and April. So they were playing it on Sci-Fi. A nice thing to do to pass the time when you couldn't go many places. Starbuck, loved her. Six-Pack says, random shout-out, favorite figure of the year, Luchasaurus. Love that short arm bastard. Yeah, man, he's sitting here. Six-Packs, I was going to open him, actually, on my live stream Saturday on Instagram, which, by the way, guys, if you want to see me open up Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, I did open those on live at Instagram. If you didn't know, I originally started Live 705 on Instagram and eventually moved it over here to YouTube. So I still do try to do lives on Instagram from time to time. Random unboxings and things. Kind of keep things moving a little bit. Excuse me. Four Feather says, I'm a big fan of the Crow figures. My wife got me one for my birthday. That's incredible. Very cool, Four Feathers. That's awesome. And again, that's a keeper of a wife. Arla agreed some stuff I can't bring myself to open. Yep, some things just look so good on card, you can't do it. Greg says, I mean, even that Spider-Man Wave Armadillo BAP is awesome. I didn't get that. Although, if there's any truth to the rumor, that black and gold Spider-Man turns out to be, let's just say, another actor rather than the actor from the MCU, then yeah, I might be really wishing I'd picked that up. Laser Pants, Ryan, pew pew. How you doing, sir? How's the new YouTube a new YouTube show going? I'm looking forward to checking out episode 2. Have not yet done so. I need to. I've been sleeping on that. I think you put a number 2 out last week. I apologize because I'm behind. Okay, Figure says, BAFs this year. I agree. Incredible. They hit a slam dunk. Tim, Sci-Fi did that. The Stay the Frack Home Marathon. Yep. And I ate that up, man. I had never watched every single episode, and I managed to pretty much get through almost everything. I think I saw almost every episode or very close to it on that marathon. It was freaking incredible. And again, this guy here, I know I had him standing on the side as far as BAFs are concerned. Freaking love this dude. Again, his head's barely fitting on camera. I don't want to slide this around too much because he will knock somebody over. But again, awesome job on Mr. Hyde as far as the Marvel Legends are concerned. So I think we pretty much talked about all of the lines I had represented here. Again, to the McFarlane people, I apologize for not having more of them to show off. Neca, same thing. They were killing it this year. I managed to pull myself back and not get, as much Neca, just because, again, I was really trying to control my spending this year, moving forward as best I could. And again, just because it's here, and again, I know I'm going to get called out as a Marvel Legends mark, but I am. And speaking of marks, this guy's also awesome. I opened him up here on Live 705 weeks ago. I don't think I can get him to get fit on camera all the way without knocking stuff over. We'll give it a shot. Ironmonger. So again, if the top 10 deluxe Marvel Legends list, he'll definitely show up on there. I can't imagine he wouldn't. So just right in front of us here, counting Mr. Hyde, there's like 6 or 7 deluxe figures that they're killing it at Marvel Legends. How would it be fair to compare those to like a single release figure? It just wouldn't be in my estimation. So, and on Cyber, I didn't put up on camera. I opened him up live last week. I didn't get the 5-pack, just him. But yeah, great year for all these lines. Jazzwares, Hasbro, looking more at companies rather than lines. Again, all those companies with all their individual lines did an amazing job this year. So we're going to get ready to call it a night pretty soon. Let's get the final comments of the night up here. I think I'm going to put this guy back up here one more time just because he is one of the sickest figures I really enjoyed building this year. Laserband says episode 2 is this Saturday. That's right, because you were on Infinity Equation last Saturday. It was the AEW pay-per-view. Unfortunately, I missed it. I had to download the Infinity Equation episode and listen to that. And again, as I always say, guys, check out Infinity Equation podcast. Great people, great podcast. Been watching them since the pandemic kicked in. So, and also check out Laser Pants' 3POA, his new show he's doing with Analog Toys, and also Bobby Vala from Valaverse. So closing comments on the evening. Four Further says, we always got you on the big screen TV. My wife loved hearing that. That's incredible. Hello, Mrs. Four Feathers. I feel as if I almost already know you. So thank you for sharing Live 705 with us every single week. And that is awesome. One of these days, if you guys make the trek out here to the Pennsylvania area, Lehigh Valley area, give me a shout. Maybe we can go grab a drink or something together with the GF and whatnot. RL says, Disavowed Action Figures. If you remember, please message me on Instagram to whom you think is in the black and gold suit. I haven't heard anything. Shoot me a message on that. Again, my mind is a blur when I clean this up and AEW starts. I don't want to forget, and it's not because I don't want to. So if you shoot me a message, I will have a talk with you on that. Greg Miller says, I was never so tired before from doing nothing. I never did that before. Yeah, it was a weird time period. We'll be telling our kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews about for a long time. Hopefully they never have to experience what happened like that ever again. Four Further says, drinking actually became boring for me within 4 days. Unfortunately, I went a little longer. But yeah, dude, it was a weird time, man. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for joining here live at 705 this week. It really helped me collect my thoughts regarding what I'm going to do with my top 10 videos later on this year. Probably a new toy hunt tomorrow night here on the channel. If you are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below, everybody. Again, even though we were talking here, leave a comment after the video if you don't mind. Let me know what your favorite figure of the year was, who your favorite line of the year was, or company was. Are you a big NECA person? Hasbro, loyal subjects. We didn't even talk about them. McFarlane Toys. I'll say that so we can kill too bad in the comments later on. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on all those different things. I'll be looking forward to getting those videos out, hopefully looking at December, January. I'll try to get a new hunt video out tomorrow night. I actually would like to swing by VR Hobbies tomorrow after work. He got some new stuff in, and he has a toy show coming up in December, which will be here before you know it in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So give VR Hobbies a check out on Instagram and check out their store. Some great store videos, hunts have been there in the past on my channel as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for supporting. Instagram is Disavowed_12 for daily toy content and updates. So thank you, everybody. Take care. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.